first off, like, I hope you guys have seen today, you know, having Zeke and Tanner and Chase and, you know, Parker and Jacob just get up there, like, and just everyone in this room, the amount of talent that we're surrounded by and the amount of people here. I don't know if you guys have ever been to another leadership event, but it's like, there's not, like, the density of talent here is unreal, right? And it is why that at Sunder, this was the #1 group by far, you know? And at the pros, if we take it, this is the #1 group, right? And that's kind of what we want to build and grow, and kind of some of the things I'm going to talk about today and some of the standards that we're going to go over today. I kind of want to give you some of the reason behind, like, why Alpha came together, kind of what some of the logos are, some of the standards on growth and, like, development. Like, everyone here today that's in this room, it's because either myself or your leader see something in you guys. And everyone here, we want you part of something bigger. We didn't invite every single rep out here. This was an invite-only event. So if you're in this room, there's someone that believes in you more than you probably believe in yourself. But, like, we want you to be part of something bigger and something we're trying to accomplish, okay? The first thing I want to talk about, guys, this logo. I don't know if most people probably have no idea where it came from, right? This logo is not the Alpha logo, okay? This logo is the Triple Crown logo. I didn't design it. Zeke didn't design it. Actually, this was designed by Tyler Jackson. Yeah, who's that? Yeah, we don't know who he is anymore. But guys, Tyler, is like a leader I look up to a ton. You know, one of the biggest mentors in my life. And I wish he was able to be here today to be able to talk about it. But it was something that when we decided to create and form Alpha as we came over, me and Zeke wanted to bring this part of it, because just some of the conversations that I've had when Tyler went to create this Triple Crown logo and what he believed it to be was really cool, right? And like I said, it'll be a lot more impactful coming from him. But part of it, guys, is, I don't know if you guys remember the NZ logo. It was a triangle, right? It was the NZ, right? And the Triple Crown, if you know what the Triple Crown is in baseball, right? They have it for pitching and for hitting, but it's being the best in all three categories, right? I don't even remember what the 3 categories were when it comes to. Exactly. It's a very, very hard skill. It's a very, very hard thing to do in baseball, right? So he has it. He said, hey, like with NZ, as you see here, these are coming up because it's breaking NZ. It's being bigger and better than everyone else, right? And he wants the 3 different pillars of it is, he's like, hey, our group, we want to be the top at recruiting, we want to be the top in sales, and the top in installs, okay? So Alpha, guys, it is our division name. This logo, though, is like, hey, like, we want you guys, like I said, is you guys don't have to, like, we want you guys to be able to create something for your individual group, right? The people you're working with, the teams you're working with. It's important to feel like you're building something for yourself and your reps and being part of a brand. But, like, embrace this logo. This logo is not Triple Crown. You'll see as Tanner and Chase made some, like, stuff for their group, they have the Triple Crown logo on there, right? Like, that is what we are. Like, if you're part of this group, when you see that logo on the back of the shirt, you know, like, hey, they are the best at everything they do, okay? So that's a little bit about where the Triple Crown logo came from, okay? As Zeke said today, he gave a little bit of training on this, like our values here, okay? These, we thought Solar Pros had it. Like, why change it if not, right? Like, our values here are to serve and elevate, okay? As when you guys are going to be able to hear Brett a little bit later today talk about, what the Charita I'm trying to accomplish, he's all about service. It's the reason why, like, he's, if you meet Tyler, and the reason why Tyler has grown to what he's grown to in this organization, it's because of his servant leadership, right? It's helped me a lot and stuff too. So serve and elevate everyone. It's something that even at Sunder, it's something that I feel like the leaders, Tyler and the leaders that we work with here today is something that I think they all embody. And so I think it was a perfect thing to go into as we came over to start Alpha, okay? Our mission statement, as Zeke said, our worst is everybody else's best. Again, like when they think of this, right, there's a lot of different sales companies out there, right? You want them to think when you're part of something, like, hey, it doesn't matter how much you sell if you're not selling with Alpha. It doesn't matter the numbers you put up if you're not here, right? You can go undefeated and be part of in college football, but if you don't do it in the SEC, it doesn't matter, right? Like, everyone says that. Like, hey, when who was it? Urban Meyer went over when he first went to Florida. Like they asked, like, hey, yeah, you went undefeated, but you never, this is a different ballgame now. That's the kind of culture that we want to create here, you know? So that's our mission statement. Our goal, you probably heard 10,000 installs a lot. When I was sitting down in Eric's office, Eric Nelson, when I was at Sunder, it's a goal that I've always had. I think it's a cool milestone. Like, hey, like 10,000 installs in a calendar year. It's a lot, right? I don't know any other region that's done that. It's a big goal, it's a big accomplishment. And when I brought that up to him, like, hey, I want to be part of a group that's doing 10,000 installs, right? And when I first thought of it, I'm like, hey, that means that we'd probably have to have 20 regional managers. And that was a goal that I had. Like, that means it was way more than the numbers, the things. It was like, hey, like, I'm really big into believing, like, hey, what I do for work is sales and leadership development. And I want to be able to have a very abundant mindset, and I want to be able to promote 20 regional managers. In order to do that, it's probably right around 10,000 installs, okay? So that's kind of where it came from. And I remember sitting down with him, and I asked him that, and his comment back to me was, no one's ever done that before. Like, that's really hard. And I was sitting there, I'm like, am I crazy? Am I thinking too big, right? I'll tell you right now, since I've been at the pros, I'm like, when I was writing this number down, I'm like, damn, I think I'm thinking too short. I think this 10,000 install goal is like too small, right? So this, at first, it was to do in 5 years. In 5 years, I think we could get to the point where we're doing 10,000 installs as a group. I actually think we'll do it right before that. So I'm not going to even put it on the 5 year. Like, that is going to be our goal and mission statement. Hey, we're going to go out there today and we're going to go get 10,000 installs, okay? You guys are probably wondering what $22.5 million in equity given to this group would mean, okay? If we can do that in a calendar year, and Josh is here too, so we might have him elaborate on some of this if we have questions. But as part of it, there's a buyout that happens in year 5 of the Solar Pros, right? With a cents given. And there's a 25 cents that will be given to like this group of people. And if we can do 10,000 installs, that will be $22.5 million in equity given to this group, right? A lot of people aren't into it, but that's a lot of money and a lot of life-changing opportunity for a lot of people in here. Again, are we doing that for this? No, that will be the byproduct of what's to come from what we accomplish, guys. Money, the equity, all these things, it's letting us be part of something bigger, but it's the byproduct of it, right? So you guys know, like, hey, 10,000 goals, this is the money that it equates to when it comes to the equity part of it, and you guys are probably like, what is he talking about? We can break some more of that down as well, but that's essentially what this group is looking to accomplish, and I think we'll get there a lot faster than year 5, okay? So this is the rep progression, guys. As you guys have seen it, you guys have a lot of different, I'm getting a lot of questions on these things, right? Again, I'm a firm believer that progression is joy and happiness. It's so cool to be a part of a company that there is so many different ways to progress, all the way from being a rep to a leader and beyond that, right? To being part of something bigger. And I'm going to kind of break that down in my training today. The first level as it starts when someone comes in is these are the pay scales that we have. We're going to be very open. We're going to be very transparent about them. If you come in, these are meant to be hit within a calendar year, okay? Do one time, and that's it, right? So you have the consultant pay scale. When you do 50 installs in a calendar year, you get the specialist pay scale. When you do 75 installs in a calendar year, you get the expert pay scale. If you're doing 150 installs in a calendar year, you're a very, very elite rep. You don't need a ton of money. You're going to be on the elite pay scale, right? Those are the rep progression part of this job. Do you have a thing?
The elite pay scale is the only one where if a rep worked here for 5 years and did 50 accounts a year and it's 250 lifetime installs, then they get elite pay scale. That way it's not like, man, I've been here 5 years and I'm still a good rep even though I'm not the 150 guy. But they can actually earn that by just being here. So that's like, I guess we haven't put that out and published it, but like that is a company rule that we tell everyone, you know, so that it's like, you're not forever just like some low-level rep just because you do 50 a year forever, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but don't be beta and go get 150 installs in a year, right? I'm joking. Yeah, 50 installs a calendar year. Okay, guys, the leadership progression. Okay, so something that we did, this is when I kind of measured off of the pros. I measured it off of the pros progression plan, right? And I'm doing it something what we're like similar to familiar, like what we're familiar with. And so these are off of submitted goals, right? They're instant. They're something you can control in the moment. And these are what we're doing as far as our leadership progression. There's more. I didn't put all the milestones on here, right? I put the big ones on here, right? The cool thing is you'll see a lot of different levels. Like I said, we preach transparency here. We'll show you the whole entire stack. But these are what we have, right? And assistant managers, these are on a calendar look back, right? If we look back today in October last year, how many submitted deals you have, these are what there are, right? So the ones I put up there are assistant manager. We want you doing about 250 submitted deals in a calendar year, right? Working with a team, working with a manager. The senior manager is 500 submitted deals in a calendar year, right? You're looking at about 250, 300 installs, okay? Our regional manager is 1,000 submitted deals. A senior regional is 1,500 submitted deals. Divisional is 2,500. And then when you get to the VP category, it's about 3,500 submitted deals, right? Is kind of the progression plan that we're going to go from this group, right? There's other ones we'll work with and stuff. And if you have, I don't know if you have anything on that, but those are from looking at the pros, like progression plan, and then translating it to what we're more familiar with at Sunder. And so it's something that you can progress. It was just easier to track with some markets being long install times, things like that and stuff too. So
this is actually awesome. So Solar Pros built our progression based off of installs. More of like, we want to protect the rep and we want to protect the leader. So we want the reps to have to earn it. We don't want just people getting freebies, right? Like everybody in here is a leader at some level. Nobody should get a freebie on anything. They don't strive for anything if they're getting freebies. But then at the same time, there's some leaders who are like trying to keep people down. And we want to have it to where you know for sure no matter what you can grow. But what Brandon did is took the company metrics, and this is what we encourage people to do, is take the company metrics and make them your own and make them achievable for your group. And so these are easier numbers to hit than what the company says are the minimums that you have to, or if you hit it, like we're forcing people to graduate you essentially. So just want to give props to Brandon for doing what I want all leaders to do, is look at it and say, how do I help people achieve this versus how do I hold people down with this number and stuff. So
exactly, thank you. Again, guys, I'll say this 100 times, like your leaders should want to be replaced. It's something that Tyler Jackson says all the time, like you should want the people you're working with to replace the position you're in, right? And that sounds scary and it's a really hard thing to do sometimes as a leader, but it's our goal is to have a vision, a plan of growth, and we want to show you like, hey, you do this, you get this, right? Very open, very transparent. I believe in a model. It's like, hey, I want people to have the same opportunity that I had when I walked in the door, right? And that's how through these progressions, okay? Okay, who knows who this is? Michael Phelps. Okay, I'm gonna list off a couple people. I'm gonna see if you guys know who this is. Michael Phelps. Okay, who knows who this is? Lance Armstrong. I picked pictures. I didn't familiar with it, so but I could figure. Who knows who this is? What position? Travis. Who said Travis? Yeah. Who knows what position this guy plays? Okay. Can any of you guys name another center in the league?
No. Allison Shelton, Allison.
There's a few people that might be able to. Andre James, for those who wouldn't have Bingham, Harriman. Okay. Who knows who this is?
Tucker.
And I guess some fantasy people might be able to name another kicker. But if you're not in fantasy, you don't. Guys, the reason I picked all these people, guys, I can't name another swimmer besides Michael Phelps. I can't name another guy that rides bikes. Hell, I can't name maybe Jason Kelsey covers his brother, but like he's also the best in the league, right? At his position, he does. Okay. When it comes to leadership, guys, and this is like transitioning to like what I hope to accomplish. I think so often in this industry and in this job, you get so many people that get so ahead of themselves. They want the next thing. They want the next position. I come in this to be a regional manager, and they do it honestly sometimes before they're too ready, right? And we want to sometimes put people in that position, but when it comes to leadership, the best way to and people ask how do I have explosive growth? The best way to do is win, right? What I mean by that is you can gain influence off winning, right? Michael Phelps comes in, people will listen. Like if he came and swim, like he's won, he's proven it, right? yes, like the second, third, fourth, fifth place, if like maybe came in and told us about their story and everything too, like we'd probably listen to them, right? Because they're really good. Any Olympic athlete you listen to. However, you don't know them, right? So like when it comes to it, I say this all the time, like this is one of the key factors, but leadership, all it is influence. No, nothing more, nothing less, right? And when it comes to this job, everyone in this job, like I said, we want with 10,000 installs, that's 20 regional managers we need to promote. Currently in this room, you know, we have 4 or 3, you know, like we have very few. So we have a big, long, long ways to grow. But the fastest way to get there is to have that as a goal, as a vision, but then take a step back and being the best at where you're at. If we push you to a level before you're ready, it's only hurting you, right? And what I mean by that is like focus on the first aspect of doing is sales, right? I was telling some people, those that don't know this, I had zero desire to manage or build or grow when I came to Center. I didn't. I managed at Vivint, chasing them. No, I came out there, I said, hey, I'm going to sell. I was told by my leaders all the time that I was an average sales rep and that I couldn't, I could bring a lot of people in the door, but I wasn't the best at sales. And so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go focus on selling, right? And at Sunder, at the time, Jeff probably remembers, that second month out there, you know, I was the top rep in the company that month, right? And then the third, and I got to the point where I could sell confidently, right? When it came. I wasn't doing 109 in a month. I wasn't doing what Parker was doing, right? Or what they are now. I wouldn't even be close to the top now. But at the time, it was, and that helped me find success to be happy. And then I moved to like I said, then I moved to the next step. After I sold and everything, then my mind shifted, and then it got to managing a team, okay? Space City came. Mike and Chase and Chad was even part of that team too, you remember? My only goal when it came to managing is, you hear this a lot. You hear, when I become a manager, like my goal is I need to stop focusing on sales as much. Or regional manager, I need to stop focusing on sales. I don't think there's ever a point where it's like, hey, like, I was talking to Sawyer the other day and he was like, hey, like I still want to, or Parker, I still want to sell a lot, I still want to manage, like, guys, I don't know if there's like a thing. It's like not that you become a manager and you stop selling less. It's just your priority shifts, right? When you're a rep, your goal should be to be the top and best rep. You're focused on yourself as an individual of dominating that thing. When you become a manager, your goal has to focus a little bit more to not yourself, but to your team. And your whole focus should be to have the best team. It's not on your individual numbers. And that doesn't mean I'm saying, hey, don't sell. Like you should sell. The top teams, I promise you want to be a top team. Every single manager that's performing at the top level, as we saw it, right? It's not a coincidence that Grell was the top team and they also had the top installer, right? But your focus shifts, right? The minute you stop managing, it's not about yourself anymore. It's about the team that you're working with, okay? After you've accomplished that, the next focus you need to focus on is becoming that regional. Once you've accomplished that step of being a manager, hitting numbers, being the best team, if you're hitting being the best team, the numbers are, I guarantee you're hitting numbers to become a regional. It will happen naturally, okay? When you become a region, you're only it shouldn't be like, I need to be a VP, that's my next step. It's like, hey, let's focus on where you're at and become the best regional by having the best region, right? I can truly say that when I was a regional, I had one thing on my mind. I stopped like every single category. It was when I was a team, I just looked at the team category. When I was a rep, I looked at the rep category. When I was a region, I looked at the region category. And I had someone chase, I want to go beat that guy. When it was Max Ganley, like you guys know, like he was the top when I first became regional. And my only focus was to beat him. And whether that's me having to go out there and sell 100 accounts myself or do it through other ways, it's just my priority and my focus shifted on becoming the top regional. And before you move on to the next category, right? We have a goal to be the top division in Solar Pros. Alpha. Alpha will be the top division in Solar Pros. However, that's right. However, we will not do that if we don't have the top region in Solar Pros, if we don't have the top team in Solar Pros and the top rep in Solar Pros. As we go win every single category, that's why I love baseball. It is such a team sport, right? So team sport, everyone has different roles, different positions. But we are we get so caught up in where I want to be in 5 years from now that we can't focus and dominate where we're at. It like consumes us. However, the people that do focus and dominate where they're at, those are what you want. It's not the title that we're looking for. It's like a lot of people, we're looking for respect. We're looking to feel love. We're looking for those things. And you do that by focusing and being happy where you're at. That's how you'll build and grow, right? And we've seen it through this group, right? We've seen it through this group. So if you're asking yourself, where am I fitting into this category? Where am I at? Like what part am I at? Ask yourself and analyze yourself these questions. Did I jump to be a team too fast? Did I jump to, am I a region right now and I maybe shouldn't be? Am I a rep that's at that next stage and you're a top rep and it's like, hey, maybe your focus does need to shift to like start being selfless and thinking more about your team. I told this to Sawyer, he remembers, I said, hey, dude, Sawyer, you shouldn't care anymore if you're the top rep anymore. The only focus should be that Halo team you made, you should go win every day with that team. Whether you have to go sell every damn account for that team or not, that should be your only focus. That's the new leaderboard you focus at. So if you're analyzing where am I at, if you can go be one of those top teams, you will naturally get to that next level. But it's just by focusing on giving everything to where you're at in the moment, right? So I had like 5 things I said on here. Okay. So like I said, win in every category, okay? So just so you guys know, and then I'm going to wrap it up and we're going to turn the time over to our Jackson, is this group right here, these are our numbers where we're at. And I even was conservative. Like from the time we're at, with Zeke and Jeff and these guys coming over, this group this year's not even over, has submitted to 3,800 accounts. That's awesome. That's super, super good. That's about 1,750 installs so far that's not including the past couple months. That is from when our NZs got shut off and the data that I have, which was a couple months ago. Those are the numbers that this group was at. That's legit. The Volt leaderboard's not 100% accurate, but if it was off of the divisions, we'd be kicking all their asses, just saying. So that's right. But our goal this next year, guys, I talked to some of the VPs over there, and I asked them their numbers that they're at when they first joined the Solar Pros, and they're telling me like 1,000, all the things. They've exploded since they've been at the pros. They've exploded because they have the right leaders, the right tools, everything. We've done these numbers this year in a system there hasn't been a vision. We've been getting held back. We have every tool and resource now to dominate. And there's zero reason why we shouldn't go double those numbers. So this upcoming year, I believe this group will do 7,000 submitted deals and 3,500 installs. I think that's what we will get in the year 2024. And it's going to be a giant year. And that's 7 regional managers promoted from this group. And it's going to be legit. So I appreciate every one of you guys. Buy into your brand. Buy into something bigger, right? And I said, let's go win and dominate this thing. So, hey, thank you guys for everything.